Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about cryptocurrency and market volatility. So today mainly we're going to be focusing on opportunities of investment into cryptocurrency. Over the past, since cryptocurrency started, it's been basically the best performing asset that you could have held for probably the last 15 years. In terms of the upside potential, even in a bear market, it was relatively good when we look at the charts if you had bought it back when it started. Obviously, people didn't have the kind of foresight, and it is an adoption thing that is coming along. There is actually great adoption right now for it. However, going into this next bull run, when it does happen, I do also think that that is going to be probably the last time where you can make a substantial amount of money from cryptocurrency in the long run, basically. I know that there'll be time after that where it will go up in price. However, I don't think that we'll see these massive spike upwards like we're seeing right now. It'll just be a trailing up of the price of the coin. Now, the reason that I say that is because these gaps have kind of been closing quite quicker than I thought they would in terms of the price between the all-time high. For example, this all-time high that we're seeing here, I know that this is the market cap, was around 20,000. This was around 69,000, so that's kind of a 3x jump in all-time highs. If you're going to use that as the next predictor for the all-time high of Bitcoin in the bull run, you should look at the all-time high at around 180,000 based on, previous all-time high to all-time high in terms of the change of price. And also, when we're looking at a 24-hour volume, I know we did hit this all-time high up here, but the amount of volume that was actually on the network was less than when we are up at around 60,000. So there's clearly, a little less kind of volume going into it right now, as opposed to what we saw back then when it was going crazy. But hopefully we'll see a massive spike up in volume for this next bull run as well. One thing that I do want to point out as well when you're looking at this chart is you can see the volume here. That's, a big chunk of volume, and it continues to kind of go along slowly, and then this massive spike upwards is only a small kind of range of volume that we're seeing. And that kind of leads me to believe that there was a lot of volume dumped into the market. That's obviously where the price was going, but that's why it's kind of pulled back a little bit, because there wasn't enough volume there to kind of sustain that price, and it's kind of pulled back to around 60 to even 55, I think was the lowest that it hit down to maybe a week ago. And then one more thing, if we're looking at the fear and greed index, we can also kind of see this as well. The most fearful time was back in 2023. I know it doesn't extrapolate out for, the 2021 bull run or the 2017 one. The worst time, I think this was FTX, or it might have been before that. But in the past year, you can see that the worst time was down here. So that was in December. And then the second worst time was actually right like we had maybe a week ago when this actually happened. So that was actually your best time to get into Bitcoin. Going forward into the bull run, I don't think we're going to have a massive price drop off, but hopefully we can kind of make it through this next couple of months and then head into a bull run very quickly. When we go to dominance as well, obviously Ethereum kind of is trailing downwards. That's why I like to think that Ethereum is kind of going away, not necessarily in terms of price or whatever, but it is kind of fizzling out a little bit in terms of the amount of things going on the network. And you can see that there is a slight gap opening up for Solana right here. Around that 2024 start of it, you can see that the gap between the bottom and the top starts to widen up a little bit. So from here is when the line starts to open up, so it means that it's taken up a little bit more dominance within the market, and we've kind of seen that through the meme coins on Solana. Then if we look at Ethereum here, you can see it's kind of trailed down, lost a lot of the dominance that it used to have, and Bitcoin's kind of filled that in, but there have been other things that have filled it in, like BNB and obviously other altcoins and stuff like that. But for the most part, we can look at these charts for days upon days. It's more of an overall view of the market that I'm kind of going for. When we're looking here, just strictly on this chart right here, we have that 2017 bull run, 2021, and then coming into 2022, kind of dips back down, FTX, and then it comes all the way back up to a new all-time high. New all-time high is probably not the same that it used to be back then, just because inflation has increased. So, Bitcoin is inherently a hedge against inflation, but the dollar worth amount is worth less. So we don't truly know if we've hit an all-time high or what the exact price of it should be relative to inflation. So obviously they have these little click open things that you can see here. You can see FTX files for bankruptcy. And then we have Bitcoin ordinals are launched. Tether announces BTC purchase. SEC claims 12 cryptocurrencies. So you remember all of this happening. And the main one, BlackRock's ETF, that has subsequently come out. If we click here, you'll see 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs approved by the SEC. So this is the main thing that I actually want to focus on going forward, and it's mainly to say that I don't think we're going to see much price volatility that we're kind of seeing in the previous years as much. I think we're kind of going to be going on a more steady rise past this next bull run or even the next one after that. So we've got around, 6 years before we start seeing this trending line just going up or down and not being as volatile as Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies have used to be. Mainly focusing on Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum if it does get the ETF. So from now to the next 6 years, I think that's when the opportunities are going to be made for massive investments and to actually create wealth or build wealth. There already has had opportunities previously, but they are going to run out very quickly in the next 6 years, I think. And then after that, it's going to become more of a standardized thing, I think, just because we see all of these new, institutions coming in, ETFs that are coming in. There's a lot more money to be had, a lot more money to play with. It's fastly approaching the market cap of gold. So right now we're at 1 trillion. I believe gold's at 13 trillion. But there has been times if we click here and then we go all time, scroll this back, the all-time market cap is at 1.39 trillion. Previously it was at, 320 billion. So we're going to see a massive jump in the next bull run. It's probably going to take it up to maybe 4 or 5 trillion. And then past that, it's going to fast approach gold in market cap and probably be, one of the top 10 assets by net worth, or you wouldn't really call it net worth, but top 10 assets by worth. So gold right now, I believe, is still at the top, and then maybe oil, and then a bunch of stocks below that. So by market cap, it'll probably be one of the top 10 or even top 5 assets in that range. And that kind of goes for cryptocurrency as an overall. If we look at the market cap, let's go back to here. Market cap all time, the top that we hit up to, I want to say right there is 2.82 trillion. So that's probably going to start to approach maybe 8 to 9 trillion within the next coming bull run. And then it's probably going to take off quite a lot from there. But just from looking at the market that we see in terms of the stock market, the main basic one, this is kind of what it's going to turn into. So at the start of the stock markets, there was probably a lot of volatility. And then over time it has settled down, institutionalized, more money has been coming in, keeping it more stable. And that's what we're seeing here with cryptocurrency, is you can basically treat every other cryptocurrency as a stock, let's just say, and those are going to fluctuate. But over time, it all kind of fades into a steady stream of going up or down. And we can kind of see this in that rainbow chart, or the spiral clock, or whatever it is for Bitcoin price or cryptocurrency market price. You can all see that it does actually plateau at a certain point, and then it's a steady rise from. So all that to say is that the opportunity is fast coming to an end for big investments into cryptocurrency and actually building a lot of wealth. I don't want to bore you too much on, all the things that have happened through cryptocurrency, but let's just go for this chart here. All-time high, is right here, and then I believe that this is the spot ETF approval. So there's a massive influx of buying going on here, which is actually really good for cryptocurrency, obviously. But I didn't expect it to be that much in terms of volume. So this is basically doubled in price. So you can obviously see there's a lot of institutional money coming in through that. And I believe over time, there's going to be way more that does come in as well. So let me know your thoughts. If we still have kind of opportunities to create wealth, I believe there's going to be that for the next 6 years, probably. But after that, I believe that it is going to be coming down slowly. And there's only going to be, a certain percentage you can make in the market every year from cryptocurrency, mainly being Bitcoin. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure you like the video and subscribe for more content like this.